Hey guys, it's Lisa with the Cat Scrappiness Design Team, and today I have an easy Valentine's Day card that I want to share with you. We've got some new products in the store this month, and I'm going to be using some of them to make the card. We have the Lacy Layered Heart die, we have the Stitch Sentiment strips, and we have the Say It With Heart stamp set. So cute. You can make little conversation hearts with that stamp set. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the stitched rectangle, stitched scalloped rectangle dies. I'm going to take the largest die, and I'm going to cut out, I cut out a panel of Bristol Smooth cardstock because I'm going to be doing some ink blending on the cardstock. And I picked raspberry distress ink and spun sugar distress ink, and what I'm going to do is kind of make an ombre look where it's darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. So I've got my mini ink blending tool, and I'm just going to do some ink blending on the card and just have a piece of white paper underneath it just so I don't get my workspace dirty. But basically I'm just laying down some ink on the paper. Not real difficult, just trying to get an even blend, and I find that it's much easier with the Bristol Smooth cardstock. I've tried a lot of different cardstocks, and this one seems to give me the best results. So that's basically all I'm doing here. I'm going to put the spun sugar down after this to kind of give an ombre look. I didn't work too hard on blending the colors where they meet, only because I'm going to be putting down a heart in the center of the card. So it's going to kind of cover where the two colors meet. Sometimes I find it difficult to blend two colors together unless I'm using a third color in between, or unless I do a lot of ink blending, and let's face it, my shoulder can't take that. So now I'm moving on to the spun sugar, and it's such a light color, sometimes I have trouble really getting it onto the blending tool, so that's why you see me kind of pushing so hard on the spun sugar ink pad. But as you can see, I'm just blending it into the bottom, and even without trying too hard, you can see what a beautiful blend you get with this cardstock. It's just such a pretty look when it's going from the dark to light. So that's all. I'm just trying to get it blended there in the middle, but you'll see when I take the paper away that it's probably could have been blended a little bit better. But like I said, I didn't worry too much because I was going to be covering it with a heart. So the Lacy Layered Heart that I showed you earlier, I couldn't decide if I wanted to use gold or silver for the heart. And I also couldn't decide the card base because I originally put it on a pink card base and I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided to grab a white card base instead to put the panel down on there. And I think it looked much better with the white card base. So it's just your basic A2 card base, and I'm folding it in the middle. I just thought that the white card base made the pink stand out a little bit more instead of it kind of blending in. And then I'm just going to put some Tombow glue on the back, except that I just can't get any out of it, so I'm going to grab my Nuvo adhesive instead. Yep, a lot more in that bottle. And I'm still having to work hard. Anyway, I'm just getting a layer of glue down on the back of the card so I can adhere it to the card base. Try not to get my fingerprints on the distressing too much because, as you all know, that shows up in the end. So then I took the two hearts that I was talking about, the gold and the silver, and the Lacy Layered Heart die is nice. It's got an intricate inner die, and then it's got an outer die that you can actually cut out if you want to as a mat. But today I just chose to use the inner intricate part. So I put the silver and the gold down and quickly decided I like the silver much more. I use gold a lot, so every now and then it's nice to use silver cardstock. So I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive on the back, not being real careful, just trying to get it over the majority of the heart. And it's actually easier to use a more fine tip glue for this part, but that was just kind of the first thing I grabbed, so obviously any adhesive will work for this. And then I'm just going to lay it down in the center of the card. And as you can see, it kind of covers where the two inks meet, so that's why I wasn't too worried about them really getting a good blended look in between them. And I'm just going to wipe away some excess glue that's there. I love this glue because it wipes away so easily. So then I'm going to move on to the sentiment for the card. And I'm going to use that stamp set, Say It With Hearts. I'm going to use the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment at the bottom. And I've already pre-cut a panel from the stitched sentiment dies. And I put it down in my stamping platform. And what I do when I have a small area like this that I'm going to stamp on, I like to actually put a little bit of double-sided adhesive down and glue the paper down. That way I don't have to put the magnets on the paper and it still stays in place when I stamp. And there you can see the stitched sentiment dies. I used the second largest die in the pack. So I'm just going to stamp it with some VersaFine Black Onyx ink twice. My favorite black ink. It just stamps beautifully. It's nice and crisp. Although I'm pretty sure I smudged it when I touched it, so even though it's a great ink, you got to be careful not to touch it right away. And then what I'm going to do with the sentiment is pop it up on some foam tape. I feel like I can't make a card unless I use foam tape. I love how things look popped up. So I'm just going to cut my foam tape up, get it on the back of that sentiment. And lay it down in the middle of that heart. I just love how that looks. That bold sentiment looks terrific. I like that font. And there you have it. Just a quick, simple Valentine's Day card. We've got some great products in the store this month to make some Valentine's Day cards or any kind of love cards actually. And you can see how quickly it came together, but how impressive it looks with that blended background. And there's the products, the Lacy Layered Heart, the Stitch Sentiment dies, and the Say It With Heart stamp set. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to pick up any of these products in the store, you can use my code LISA10 and save 10% on your order. So have a great day, guys, and happy early Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.